Hi, it's my favorite time of day, the time of day when I get to read a good book to you. Today we're going to read The Gardener, and it is by Sarah Stewart and David Small. It won a Caldecott Medal. That tells you it's a great book, and I agree it is. I want you to think about the setting of the story while we're reading this. Remember, the setting is the time and place of a story. I want you to pay attention to the illustrations. The illustrations are wonderful in this book. And I also want you to think about the point of view of the story. It's told from the point of view of the little girl. And I wonder how it might be a different story if it was told from the point of view of one of the other characters. All right? It's a neat story because it's written as letters that she is sending to her family back home. So let's get started. August 27th, 1935. Dear Uncle Jim, Grandma told us after supper that you want me to come to the city and live with you until things get better. Did she tell you that Papa has been out of work for a long time and no one asks Mama to make dresses anymore? We all cried, even Papa. But then Mama made us laugh with her stories about your chasing her up trees when you were both little. Did you really do that? I'm small but strong, and I'll help you all I can. However, Grandma said to finish my schoolwork before doing anything else. Your niece, Lydia Grace Finch. So what do we know already? We know that Lydia Grace has to go live with her uncle. And how do they feel about it? Can you tell from the illustrations? How are they feeling about it? I think you might be right. I think they're not feeling very good at all. They're feeling sad as they're packing up her things. The illustrations show us that. Why do you think she might have to leave and go live with someone else? Well, I will tell you that a big clue I got was the date here, 1935. That was a long time ago, right? And you may not know, but that was during a time in the United States called the Great Depression. And it's when a lot of people didn't have jobs. And in fact, she said that her mom and dad, Mama and Papa, she calls them, didn't have jobs. So maybe they're sending her to live with the uncle, hoping it will be better for her there. I like the illustrations in this also because I can see these old type of cars. That doesn't look like the cars we have today, does it? That's another thing that tells me the setting is in the past. And it's during a time when a lot of people were having trouble making ends meet. I also like the illustrations in this book because look how there's always white around the characters. The main characters always have that brightness around them in contrast to some of the dull colors here. September 3rd, 1935. Dear Uncle Jim, I'm mailing this from the train station. I forgot to tell you in the last letter 3 important things that I'm too shy to say to your face. Number 1, I know a lot about gardening, but nothing about baking. Number 2, I'm anxious to learn to bake, but is there any place to plant seeds? Number 3, I like to be called Lydia Grace, just like Grandma. Your niece, Lydia Grace Finch. On the train, September 4th, 1935. Dear Mama. So now she's not writing to Uncle Jim anymore because that's where she's headed. Now she's writing to her mama. I feel so pretty in your dress that you made over for me. I hope you don't miss it too much. Dear Papa, I haven't forgotten what you said about recognizing Uncle Jim. Just look for Mama's face with a big nose and a mustache. I promise not to tell him. Does he have a sense of humor? And dearest Grandma, thank you for all the seeds. The train is rocking me to sleep, and every time I doze off, I dream of gardens. Love to all, Lydia Grace. And look at this picture. The colors tell us that she is feeling what? What would you say? I would agree. Alone, lonely, overwhelmed. All this big space and these dark colors, and then this little girl here. September 5th, 1935. Dear Mama, Papa, and Grandma, I'm so excited. There are window boxes here. They look as if they've been waiting for me, so now we'll both wait for spring. And Grandma, the sun shines down on the corner where I'll live and work. Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. Uncle Jim doesn't smile. So can you see Uncle Jim and the look on his face? I want you to pay attention to him throughout the story because he changes from the beginning of the story to the end of the story. Do you know what window boxes are? There's these boxes here on the window where you can plant flowers in them. Some of you might have those where you live. December 25th, 1935. What's important about December 25th? That's right. Dear Mama, Papa, and Grandma, I adore the seed catalogs you sent for Christmas. And Grandma, thank you for all the bulbs. I hope you received my drawings. I wrote a long poem for Uncle Jim. He didn't smile, but I think he liked it. He read it aloud and then put it in his shirt pocket and patted it. Love to all, Lydia Grace. So look at him reading the poem. Do you think he liked it? If he put it in his shirt pocket, that's a clue that tells me he wanted to keep it. It doesn't say he wanted to keep it, but I can make that inference from him putting it in his pocket and then patting it to keep it safe in there. Makes me think maybe he does like that poem, even if he's not smiling. February 12th, 1936. Dearest Grandma, thank you again for those bulbs you sent at Christmas. You should see them now. I really like Ed and Emma Beach, Uncle Jim's friends who work here. When I first arrived, Emma told me she'd show me how to knead bread if I would teach her the Latin names of all the flowers I know. Now, just half a year later, I'm kneading bread and she's speaking Latin. More good news. We have a store cat named Otis who at this very moment is sleeping at the foot of my bed. Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. Uncle Jim isn't smiling yet, but I'm hoping for a smile soon. March 5th, 1936. Dear Mama, Papa, and Grandma, I've discovered a secret place. You can't imagine how wonderful it is. No one else knows about it but Otis. I have great plans. Thank you for all the letters. I'll try to write more, but I'm really busy planting all your seeds in cracked teacups and bent cake pans. And Grandma, you should smell the good dirt I'm bringing home from the vacant lot down the street. Love to all, Lydia Grace. Where do you think her secret place is? Can you tell? Aha. Looks like a rooftop. Look at all the broken stuff and trash. What do you think she's going to do up there? April 27th, 1936. Dearest Grandma, all the seeds and roots are sprouting. I can hear you saying, April showers bring May flowers. Emma and I are sprucing up the bakery, and I'm playing a great trick on Uncle Jim. He sees me reading my mail, planting seeds in the window boxes, going to school, doing my homework, sweeping the floor, but he never sees me working in my secret place. Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. I'm planning on a big smile from Uncle Jim in the near future. May 27th, 1936. Dear Mama, Papa, and Grandma, you should have heard Emma laugh today when I opened your letter and dirt fell out onto the sidewalk. Thank you for all the baby plants. They survived the trip in the big envelope. More about Emma. She's helping me with the secret place. Hooray! Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. I saw Uncle Jim almost smile today. The store was full, well, almost full, of customers. Can you see Uncle Jim in there? I guess that's as close as he gets to a smile. June 27th, 1936. Dear Grandma, flowers are blooming all over the place. I'm also growing radishes, onions, and 3 kinds of lettuce in the window boxes. Some neighbors have brought containers for me to fill with flowers, and a few customers even gave me plants from their gardens this spring. They don't call me Lydia Grace anymore. They call me the gardener. Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. I'm sure Uncle Jim will smile soon. I'm almost ready to show him the secret place. July 4th, 1936. Dearest Mama, Papa, and Grandma, I am bursting with happiness. The entire city seems so beautiful, especially this morning. The secret place is ready for Uncle Jim. At noon, the store will close for the holiday, and then we'll bring him up to the roof. I've tried to remember everything you ever taught me about beauty. Love to all, Lydia Grace. P.S. I can already imagine Uncle Jim's smile. And look at all the flowers she's got leading up there. You've arrived. Please go up this way. Oh my goodness. Look what she did to that rooftop. Look at all the beautiful flowers. What do you think Uncle Jim is thinking? Is he smiling? July 11th, 1936. Dear Mama, Papa, and Grandma, my heart is pounding so hard I'm sure the customers can hear it downstairs. At lunch today, Uncle Jim put the close sign on the door and told Ed and Emma and me to go upstairs and wait. He appeared with the most amazing cake I've ever seen, covered in flowers. I truly believe that cake equals 1,000 smiles. And then he took your letter out of his pocket with the news of Papa's job. I'm coming home. Love to all and see you soon, Lydia Grace. P.S. Grandma, I've given all my plants to Emma. I can't wait to help you in your garden again. We gardeners never retire. So he made her a beautiful cake covered in flowers, and she created this garden upstairs. So it's kind of like they gave each other a gift of what they were good at doing. And how do you think he's feeling? Is he smiling? No, he's not smiling. But some other things give me the clue that he really does love Lydia Grace. Some of the things he has done, his actions, some of the pictures are telling me, like this picture, he's not really smiling, but he's giving her a huge cake. So that says something. And they're dropping her off at the train here so she can head on home. I can see that they're crying. That tells me they're going to miss her. Look at him. How do you think he feels about her now? I think you might be right. I think he loves her and he's going to miss her very much. So do you remember when I told you to concentrate on how he changes throughout the book? Do you think that he changed from the beginning of the story when he was picking her up? He looked kind of grumpy, if you remember. Look at that face. I think that's a bit different from this face, right? So I think he did change. Do you think the story would have been different if it had been told by Uncle Jim's perspective? What do you think he would have been thinking throughout the story and saying and doing? That's something interesting to think and talk about with your teacher or your parents or someone around you. All right. I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. I love this book. I'll see you next time. Bye, Kayla.